Hello and welcome to my 35 days of thanking God for 35 fabulous years of life, because God is so good. He is worthy of all our praise. And on today's episode, it is episode 20. Episode 20, and today I am thanking God for the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful gift of the Bible. This is my Bible, y'all. I got this one from my mom. It was her Bible, and actually it was covered in like an orange wrapping paper, and then it got damaged over the years just from being used a lot. And when I started reading the Bible a lot, it was just like, holding on for dear life. The pages were like coming out, and one time I was like, you know what, I love this Bible. It's such a gift. I should actually just preserve it, so that one day when my daughter reaches this age of enlightenment, I can give it to her. It can still be something like, yo, this was your grandmother's Bible, and stuff. So I just wrapped it up, and fixed it up. And I really spend a lot of time in the Word. Actually, when I don't read the Bible a lot, my life sometimes gets a little bit, when your life is like, what is going on, But when I do spend time in the Word of God, when I take the time to read the Word, I can see the result in my life of spending time in the Word of God. I can see myself being a better person. I can see the fruitfulness of the things that I take part in, and I can attribute that to the Word. Actually, our generation is super gifted to have the Word. When we read about the characters in the Bible, in the Old Testament and in the New, some in the New, we forget that they didn't have this manual to life, this how to do life well book. They didn't have all the stories that we can go to and find comfort and wisdom and peace and strength. They didn't have this wonderful gift, and we are living in the end times, and we have this wonderful gift because God has placed us in this earth for such a time as this, and He has given us everything we need to do what He has placed us on this earth for, So I'm really thankful for the Word of God. The Word of God is an eternal word. In the Bible, it says that, everything will pass away, everything that we see, the pyramids, the skyscrapers, the kings and the queens, all these things will pass away, but the Word of God lives forever. It will live forever. And it also says, that Jesus is the Word of God. In the beginning was the Word was God, the Word was with God, So there's really, it's not an ordinary book, it's a living word. It's inspired by God. Everybody who wrote the Bible was inspired by the Spirit of God to write it word for word, In the end of the Bible, actually, I don't know if y'all have gone to the end, In the end, on the last page, it speaks about how anybody who dares to change a word in this, who dares to take away a word or add on a word is under a curse. Like they better not do this, and it tells us that Jesus is coming soon, and that may His grace be with us, with everyone. And it tells us how in the beginning was God, the only living God, the eternal Father. It shows us, it's almost like a letter from God to humanity for us to understand Him, It speaks about how in the New Testament, after Jesus came, when He ascended into heaven, it says that there are so many other miracles and signs and wonders that Jesus did, but if they were to put them in the book, the book would be too much. It would be too much, you know what I mean? So it's given us every necessary information, every necessary truth You know, it is the truth. You know how it is in this day and age, where people can sort of give a narrative to meet their own agenda, you know, not giving us the real truth, but the Bible is the truth, the real truth, the only truth, the ultimate truth. And I'm super, super thankful to God for this gift. You know, in many times in my life, I've come to the Bible and I've received healing, I've received understanding, wisdom, guidance, peace, love, you know, the love that God has for us. I've seen it in the Bible, you know. When you read the Bible, you can think about, because I'm an artistic person, you know, I have an active imagination. I can imagine myself as the characters in the Bible, going through what they're going through, you know, the compassion that God has for us, you know, the understanding. He understands us because He made us, you know. He understands us so much. Like sometimes we don't even understand ourselves. We don't know ourselves. But through the book, we can hear more and more about who we are. That we are wonderfully made by God. That God knows the number of hairs on our head. That God calls us by our name. That before we were formed in our mother's womb, He knew us. You know, so for the mothers out there, before your baby was formed in your womb, your child, God knew your child. God had plans for your child, for you, for your parents, you know. It gives you so much of an awareness, an understanding, a revelation of who you are, who other people are, you know, the times that we are living in. You know, Jesus has told us that, you know, the servant cannot be better than the master. The things that He went through, the sufferings, the rejection, we might experience, we are likely to experience it in this age, but we should not be dismayed. He is with us. He will never leave us, and He will never forsake us. It gives us so much blessed assurance that the one who started the good work in us, God Himself, will be with us until the end, you know, till the day of Christ, to bring it to fruition, all the things that He has planned for us, you know. So we don't have to rely on ourselves, on our you know, our own strength. We can rely on the strength of God to make it through this life and conquer and succeed and have victory, you know, and be the David over every Goliath in our lives, you know, to be the Moses before every Pharaoh. You know, God said to Moses, I will make you God before Pharaoh. So we can really overcome fear, anxiety, all the things that are stressing people in our time. I know I'm repeating my Bible. In our time, through getting into the Word of God. You know, it is a living Word. One of my favorite verses, the one that says, okay, I have a lot of favorite verses. Like if if I put my favorite verses in this one video, I won't finish talking. But just to wrap it up, you know, because I don't want to take too long. One of my favorite verses in the Bible is the one where He says, my word goes forth to do what I have sent it to do, and it does not return to me void. It does not return to God without achieving what He sent it to do. So when the Word of God is in you, in your heart, you're meditating on it day and night in your mind, you know, you're speaking the Word of God in your conversations with others, with yourself, it will achieve what God has sent it to do. It will not return to Him void. So you can rest assured, you know. One of my other favorites, and this last one, is where God says, where Jesus says, take my yoke upon you. My yoke is easy, you know. And I link it with the other verse where He says, He speaks about rest. Okay, my mind is moving all over the place, so, you know, I can't put it together. But if you know the Bible, you'll know what I'm talking about, yeah. Where He speaks about, come to me, all you who are weary, and you will find rest, you know. Life can really beat you down, disappoint you, people, life, you know. But the Word of God, you know, gives us a revelation of God. He will never let us down. You know, He is, everything that He does is for our good. You know, He is a loving Father. He's a loving God, and we can trust in Him. You know, last last favorite verse for this video, this episode, as the one where it says, God is not a man that He should lie, nor is He the Son of Man that He should change His mind. In life, we can be lied to. People can change their mind. We can lie to people. We can change our minds. But God is not a man. He's not the Son of Man. He's not like us. So we can truly, truly trust in Him, trust in His word, in His promises, you know. And that is wonderful. So that is it for today. Cheers. Thank you so much for watching.